Bogotá, Colombia is a sprawling gem-like metropolis on the edge of a cloud forest. My first visit to Colombia was at the tail end of a long and quickly dying relationship. She was a bartender at a sports pub. She had the biggest eyes I'd ever seen. One day when she served me a beer, she put her hand on my shoulder and changed my life. We met up in Bogotá. That was our thing, chasing each other around the world. She was on a international studies tour, one of those hippie-type deals where you finance a world tour with a student loan, come out with a massive debt load and a degree in underwater basket weaving. You know, you never know it at the time, but our love had come to Bogotá to throw itself off a mountain. We were in the right place for that. When I was younger, I lived inside of a book, treading page after page of Gabriel Garcia Marquez until that prose lived inside of my soul. I read 100 Years of Solitude in a weekend, walking the streets of those colonial cities in my mind. After we split up, back in California, I was at an old Italian restaurant owned by a close friend. At the bar, I was talking to this girl who had recently heard that I was single. She wore a leather jacket slung over a tattooed shoulder with art that went all the way down to the wrist. Her slinky red dress was cut to reveal another large tattoo on her milk-white thigh. She touched her shoe to mine, leaned into the bar, and smiled with her eyes that did that kind of thing where they sparkle and the music gets slow. And you know this girl, it's the one all your friends want to date. Just talking with her was like you had won some kind of prize. Soft eyes, tattoos, also a goddamn bartender. I passed that off like a football to the line of guys waiting to talk to her. The next day, I called Alegria in Bogotá and booked my old room. If I was to walk in the shoes of Florentino Ariza, I would first need to learn Spanish. The weather in Hollywood is in full springtime, and it's high season of the aromatic blends. Distinctively delicious, we season fine red and golden fluke-cured Virginia tobaccos with rare condimental leaf, enhancing the result with a subtle vanilla bourbon topping that is never overbearing. Rare for a blend of its genre, Virginia Cream delivers on its aromatic promise from first puff to the bottom of the bowl, while leaving the pipe clean and free from phantom flavors. An all-American blend for Virginia fanciers craving something a little bit sweeter. Did you see that the tin was a little bit pooched out before we popped it. A little fermentation in there. This smells like champagne with raspberries. True dedicated fresher vanilla Cavendish smokers, they're not gonna think much of the vanilla flavoring in here. The scent is much more of a tobacco. That standard scent of Virginia, noble rot, the sweetness of the fruit over-ripening on the vine. We're gonna load up this Sassini Worcester here. You notice the Made in England football stamp there. Not the Fantail script, a little bit later version, but still family era. You can tell that rustication is so beautiful. I need to get these stems buffed. My friend Eric was saying that he does it pretty regular. Gotta polish the top of this thing too. But just a beautiful piece. So this is a GL Pease blend. Most of you know that Greg Pease is a photographer, tobacco blender, and soon-to-be columnist. Gonna start up a new column at Pipes magazine. Pease and I were talking tobacco yesterday, going deep into the weeds on blending techniques. He actually knows the original recipe to Balkan Sobrani and swears that there's no Cavendish in it. When I asked him if there was a chance of there being any other steamed or pressed leaf that gave it that note, there's a long-going debate about whether or not there was a bit of Cavendish in the original blend. He said that he knows the recipes for the type of leaf, but that the specific processing of the leaf had been lost to time. He has a theory that they used a heating method where the tobacco was heated inside of a rolling copper drum. Just the amount of processing and old techniques that we lose by not writing down that history is really a shame. First breath, the declaration that this is an aromatic blend is going to offend some aromatic smokers. The topping is extremely light. The tobacco flavors are what are in front. It's got that tangy dark fruit. There's some earthiness from the red Virginias, but the flute cured brings everything up to a lemony lightness. The note is dry with a bit of that little vanilla hint on the back end. Don't come in here looking for lane 1Q. This is not your grandpa's vanilla. When Pease works with flavoring, he does it like a master sushi chef, bringing out the subtleness of the flavors of the tobacco with the topping, not the other way around. And that's one of the problems that he has with Dutch and, in some instances, German blenders, that he feels like they are always going to sugar the leaf. And that, well, sugaring the leaf, can give you some sweetness and some good flavor. It also kind of degrades the leaf as well. And he wants you to have that natural flavor experience which is really why, non-aromatic smokers love this blend.